everything is Torah, the better our lives will be. Understand that when you just have a bit of honey cake in the middle of the day, just before Maariv or Mincha or whatever, eating honey, honey cake is davash. Davash is a gematria. Avinu is avarachama. It's bringing down hamtaka, sweetening. There was the koach that gave koach to Shaul and Yonasan, specifically Yonasan. Shaul had forbidden anyone from eating during a Moharan, and because Yonatan ate some honey in a forest, it gave him extra koach to be matzliach. The koach and the honey, the energy, it's a big avodah of Tishrei. The whole Tishrei, we minhag of Chassidim is to have honey with every time you eat challah, to dip a little bit of challah and honey, sweeten everything, make everything sweet. So, Baruch Ta'ala Eliezer, Elohim Melech Haolam, B'rei, B'nei Mizonis. L'chaim. Have in mind, Chayela was coming up the Shabbos. Some chiyas, some energy. Baruch Ta'ala Eliezer, Elohim Melech Haolam, B'rei. We'll come out, it's very, the Fida Zman, and we're going to have a Fibrenim tonight with Rav Shlomo and my old friend Mika Ayman. It'll be very nice, Bez Hashem. The idea of Yidden getting together, learning Chassidus and tuning into the Ratzon and Borei, the creator of the world. Baruch Hashem, and the Chayel, or the Chiyas of Yid, the Chiyas, the Chayel. It comes down Chayel, the Neshama, the Balatanya, the Baal Shem Tov is Megala. This week's Parsha says Kisavo is a remez to Lamed Vav Sadiqim, Ki and the Vav is Lamed Vav Sadiqim Ba'aretz. That's the key to understand that. With the Avos Kadoshim, we're tuning into a special time. There's a new energy, a new light. These 12 days leading up to Rosh Hashanah, there's a renewal of the 12 months to come of the new year. There's already a certain energy already, starting to feel it. The Svarim already saying the Slichas, we're getting ready, closer and closer for Rosh Hashanah. Renewal. So we're learning in Rabbi Nachman, he was the Rabbeinu of renewal, of being able to renew your Yiddishkeit. I just saw from Gedalia. He says renewal is not optional, it's an obligation. I don't know where he posted it somewhere, but I saw it on one of his posts. Have renewal is, you have to get to the point where you understand that constantly renewing your avodas Hashem is part of everyday life. Just like you breathe, you have to renew. That's the kind of way that Rabbi Nachman wants us to get to. So we're also renewing our avodah of learning this little piece we touched on yesterday in Torah Lamed Hey in the Likutei Moharan, Sif Vav. We were just finishing off this concept of being osek and dinei mamonos, learning the halachas of business, to do business honestly. Min Hashemayim, I was learning Tanya today, and it said the same thing. Min Hashemayim, the same as the big kiss from Hashem when you're learning something. He says you have to misgaber on your natural way, on your YITZCHAK, to just be whatever, and to really learn the halachas of mamonos, to know what Hashem wants in business, to do tzedakah. It's the same kind of concepts from Balatanya. You have to renew your intellect. That's in his soul. The renewal is going to come from the soul. You have a heilige neshama, you have a holy soul, you have a chelik alakam mamish. Every Jew has it, no matter what. Yasuk b'dinai mamonos, and he says here, Rabbi Nachman, to learn the halachas of business. You have to know what Hashem wants from you when you're doing business. There's halachas. One of the things is that I've always tried to do. We didn't mention it yesterday. We didn't go into details, but today we'll be just 2 minutes on some of the halachas I know that are very important. One of the things I've always tried to do is everything with contracts. And it protected me from a lot of snakes, honestly. I don't want to call Jews snakes. It's not nice to do that. But unfortunately, in the music business, there are a bunch of guys who are not so, in my opinion, they're not the biggest examples of straightness. And when you have a contract, that sort of somehow protects you from those kind of people, because they're allergic to contracts. And I'm allergic to working with people who don't take on contracts. So just by doing things the right way, because Al Pi Halacha, you have to have a contract. You have to put it into writing. We just, right now, Baruch Hashem went through the whole sugya of property. The amount of contracts that go together with property, where's it all sourced from? From Chazal, from Shas. All the contracts, the paperwork that goes into buying a property. Maybe in Eretz Yisrael they go a bit too far with the bureaucracy, but the bottom line is, you have to have laws, there's rules, there's deals, everything's written, everything goes to feed the rotten of the BORUCH, the ultimate judge who wants us to do things straight. And by having a contract, it protects you from all kinds of snakes and all kinds of difficulties. You have it in writing. Now people say the deposit is the main thing, getting the money. It could be it's true, but in practical terms. But in terms of doing what's in Hashem, the contract's more important, because we have to have the dinei mominus, the judgments, the laws of how we should do business. And you do munah, you do it with a munah, with belief in Hashem. You agree? You're doing business, it comes together with what? With a munah. Honestly. If you're for sure doing your business with a munah, you're for sure doing it with what? You're working hard with what? With the halachas of how you should do business. Every kind of business we do is connected to the everything we do with judgments of money is connected to how we do our business. The whole thing is we don't want to do anything that's going to separate us from Hashem. And God forbid, stealing a little bit from people is going to separate us, so we have to work on it. And if we've done it, there's ways to do tshuva, there's ways to give more tzedakah, or you return the money, or there's different halachas what to do when you've made a mistake in this way. Sometimes it's complicated. Like for example, I had an agent in this recent story that dealing with, not here in the frat, in Yerushalayim, and there was no contract, and there was no receipt, and there's nothing. And I've paid them most of the money. I haven't paid them all the money. Same thing happened with Shalom. I don't mind saying it publicly. I didn't pay him all the money yet. Still owe him another $500. I got to figure it out somehow or another. Yeah, there was no contract, so I don't really have to pay him. And we never really spelled it out exactly, and there was no receipt. It wasn't a deal done on the books, which I don't really like doing, but that's how it was. Okay, so now because
it was also fast.
Yeah, it was fast. It was last minute, and I never believed. And then this person doesn't want to pay tax. The agent, I'm not in Yerushalayim. I don't. Everything I do, I give receipts. I like to pay tax. Yeah, this person doesn't want it. Okay, so legally she can't do nothing to me. I could just say bye bye. I already gave her 2/3 of the money. I could say bye bye. And there is another person who's much, much wealthier than me that's actually doing that. It's pretty much ignoring them. Because what did she have legally? Nothing. Yeah, she didn't make you sign anything. It's not like with Oshri, when I got the frat store, you had to sign everything. Yeah, she didn't do anything like that. So you could just say bye. Yeah, but what's the Rotz in Hashem is once you verbally agreed on something, if you're really true to your word, even though legally you're not obligated, you should go pay the person. Yeah, that's Hashem. So I have it in my mind. With Hashem's help, to make some extra money somehow or another, and I'll pay both of them. And that's what we have to want. We have to want to do the right thing by people, just like we want them to do the right thing by us. And there's halachas. We have to find out if it comes down to that. Now, this is one more point to end off of this, in terms of this sugya. There's one more point. I personally have tried to stay away from any legal conflict in any way or form, and I have to thank Hashem I've managed it till now, and I've been in a lot of deals which could have gone that way. So one of the ways to get out of getting into based in is to be mavata and just let go of the money, or let go of the deal. Just let go. There's a whole Torah from Rabbi Nachman about being mavata or mom. Being mavata means to give up, to let go of the money. You let go. Rabbi Nachman has a whole Torah about how it's Marichim Yomav, you get long days, you start to understand Penimis HaTorah, it lengthens your life, you start to get more Mitzvahim. It's a big segula for great things. And it's based on the Gemara and Megillah. So you let go of money, that's one thing. That's one way of getting out of Beis Din. Another way is you don't take people to Beis Din. you don't let it get to that point. There's a thing called a pshara. You try to come to some sort of agreement, some sort of middle ground, where you're both in agreement. You find some middle path. It might mean it costs you a little bit more initially because you're willing to pay a bit more to make that peace, but for the sake of peace, you'll be saving much more money. And there's a concept also. I was in one situation, it's a bit complicated. So a marriage kind of thing, not me personally, but someone else. So we called in what's called I don't know. I always forget the name, but someone who's not a lawyer, but they make peace between two sides. So arbiter. There's a word for it. What's the word for it? So they're not
arbitrator.
And they came in and they literally sorted it out. So everyone came to an agreement. And that was amazing. That's what you need. Hashem wants us to make shalom and doesn't want us to stumble in these things and doesn't want us to make machlokas. And the stress and the pain you'll go through by fighting and by trying to get every penny and being that kind of person is so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy spiritually. It's just not worth it. Whatever the situation is, it's never ever worth it, generally. I know people go to Beis Din. I'm sure it's a very special thing to do and to hear what the Beis Mishpat says, and I'm Al Pi Halacha, it's probably the right thing to do. But my opinion is, if you don't have to, don't. Always seek the higher path, the path of shalom, the path of that's what I've tried to do, and so far so good. So Ibn Chayzibah Aniyah Socha, and you bring something else. Hani Ayidei Masa Matan. So there's the aspect of Aniyah Socha. What's Aniyah Socha? It's a pasuk. Let's look. And yes, I didn't get to prepare for this, and we don't have the English right now, so we're just going to make the best of Breslov, what the rabbi says here. I was based on a pasuk in YITZCHAK. Yeah, we say this every Shabbos night. Hi, so Ana Seicha Merchak Tavi Lachma. Yeah, Aidei Masamatan, Aidei Pashta Araisa, as a Merchak Tavi Lachma. Then you'll be distant from the bread being taken away from you. So there's a concept that by drawing down this new intellect, you light up your face, and this concept of seichel is the aspect of being distant. This concept of chokhmah, of wisdom, being far. This is a bit of a deep concept, this last part. Yeah. We have to try to renew our seichel. I'm not sure exactly this last shtickle from Rabbi Nachman, honestly. He's humbled me. I don't really know Pshat and I don't have the English to tell me. But what I would say is that in the schus of saying Eshes Chal with Kavanah, because this is where it's quoting the pasuk, you'll be zog to renewing your seichel. One of the things every Shabbos night, try look at the candles. Looking at the candles fixes up your seichel. It says in the Gemara. It fixes up all the large steps you make during the week. By looking at the candles of Shabbos, it gives you true wisdom, true insight. The nearest of Shabbos has within it the Orish of Mashiach. There's a lot of light inside of the Orish of the menorah, the Beis Hamikdash. It's a main menorah for the Beis Hamikdash. When you look at the candles on Shabbos, because your house is like a Mikdash, so the candles are like the menorah. So it lights you up, and also it fixes up any of the times during the week where you overly were mishtadel. You made too much effort in business. You may push yourself too much. So when you're standing there saying Eshes Chal and you're about to make Kiddush, you should look into the candles, remind yourself that Hashem's renewing your mindsets, your mentalities, your consciousness, and He's giving you a new consciousness, a nefesh yisera, a new neshama of Shabbos, and you're in a space where now you can get the true wisdom, and that will give you the true bracha in everything you're doing in your business. And this is what Rebbe Nachman is teaching us, that by doing business of Emunah, one of the ways to correct the business of Emunah, he says, is through sleeping properly, and another way is also through we're adding in here ourselves is Shabbos. Shabbos Kodesh is by having Eshes Chal and singing Shabbos with the neighbors Shabbos, and being able to remind yourself that everything's coming through Hashem, He's giving us the bracha. It's a good time to think about that. So as we're about to make Kiddush, and to be partners with Hashem in creation, to renew our understanding how all the blessing comes from this. And this is Rabbi Nachman is helping us. And Tzaddikim, and the light of the Torah is helping us connect into Hashem. Like we had Lamed Vav Tzaddikim, 36 righteous people in every generation, especially Ba'aretz. And that's a Neskos, all these miracles are happening for Am Yisrael, Chesavos. There's also the Lamed Vav hours of Shabbos. How do we know there's 36 hours of Shabbos? Because there's an aspect of bringing Shabbos early and taking out Shabbos late. Shabbos is 24 hours. How many hours would it be to add to 26 hours before, 6 hours after? Before Shabbos comes in, there's already a light of Shabbos already coming from midday. From midday Shabbos, Erev Shabbos, tomorrow, we're going to start to see the light. And this is Erev Shabbos of the year. This is mid-Elul. We're almost getting to Chayil now. the light of the new year is coming down. Tishrei is the 7th month. It's the Shabbos of the year. There's a light coming down now. We're tuning into the light a little bit more now. The light of Shabbos, the light of Tishrei, the light, a whole chodesh of Tishrei is Shabbos. It begins like Shabbos. Leil Shabbos is Rosh Hashanah. Shabbos day is Yom Kippur. And Shalasudis is Sukkos and Shmini Atzeres. So we're going into like a whole chodesh of Shabbos, a time of very big elevation of Ruchnias, and we have to prepare it. It's Erev Shabbos. And then there's the 6 hours after Shabbos, which are bringing down the Shabbos. That would be like the last part of Tishrei and Cheshvan. You're bringing down the Tishrei into the year, bringing down the light. And that's 36 hours. 6 after, together with the 24 Shabbos, 36. The light of Adam Rishon of the first Shabbos is there, and that's the tikkun of the Chay of Adam Rishon through the light of Shabbos. And that brings us to the tikkun Chay Adam Rishon. That's the big avodah of Tishrei, is to fix up the sin of Adam Rishon and come to a place of Binyan Beit HaMikdash. And then we, you know what will be? Yom Shekula Shabbos, you won't have to work. Yeah, all these Torahs of doing your work with Emunah, you'll get to a point where you'll see how Hashem is the one who's providing. So it will be like a Shabbos-like reality the whole year round. Something to look forward to.
Thank you.
Hashem should give us chizuk and koyach and a beautiful Shabbos. A lot of shefa.